what I wanted to discuss with you, because I was looking around at the world and talking to the True Source and asking, how do I make an impact? How can I help other souls be empowered? Because that's what this is all about, is empowering you to have love and joy and happiness in your life. And what was struck or said to me or pointed out to me, or any combinations of those, was, are we slaves or are we masters? And I want to address that. Are we slaves or masters? We are a multi-dimensional human being. We're a physical human being. We're a spiritual being. We have a higher self. We have a soul, an oversoul. We have a light body, vibrational body. We have multi-dimensional parts of ourselves. We have the ability to be at a million places, figuratively speaking, simultaneously. That sounds kind of apple pie in the sky. But as you think of a molecule or a proton and how many are in your body, and each one of those can travel in any distance, any place, we can be anywhere we so desire to be. But we also have the ability to create a life. And are we master of our life or slave to our lives? When I was growing up, my dad said, son, luck is a funny thing. The harder you work, the luckier you are. Oh, okay. So I'll work hard and I'll be lucky. Now it's not working harder, it's working smarter. And truly, it is working smarter. But if we look at our life, are we slaves to our belief systems? Think about that. Well, luck is a funny thing. The harder you work, the luckier you are. Was I a slave to it? Yep. Was I a slave to other people's opinions and thoughts? Absolutely. But as I began to grow and began to look around, like, who's really in control of my life? Am I a slave to my fears, to my doubts, to my insecurities, to materiality, to even family members who sometimes take advantage of us and use us? Am I a slave to money? Am I a slave to my relationships? Or am I master? And I want to explain being a master. Master doesn't mean that you control or manipulate anyone else. It means that you are in harmony and balance and doing the right thing that brings joy and harmony to your life. I talk often that the most greatest love we must have is love of ourselves. And having love of ourselves, we see ourselves as whole and complete. We see ourselves as growing. We see ourselves as perfect, ever growing more perfect. Because that's the definition of perfection, ever growing more perfect. And we see ourselves as being a soul that is loving and caring. Not to the extent that we allow ourselves to be taken advantage of and used, but only if it feels right and not doing it out of guilt, because if you do it out of guilt, you're a slave to guilt. You're a slave to anyone that uses you out of guilt. And that's what's important for us to remember. What kind of a life do we desire to have? So most people, well, I want to be rich, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to be this. Well, why? Because I can do anything I want, and I can have fun, and I don't have to do this and that. So they become a slave to materiality or money. So they work very hard. And I work with some multimillionaires in the past, even now. They're so worried about their money, they can't even enjoy it. So money is merely a conveyance of energy to have fun and enjoy with. But that's no difference than eating a fine dinner that you really like, because that gives your body energy. Or perhaps watching your dog or animal at play, or children at play, or watching a baseball game, or whatever it does. There's no difference, except in our mind we create differences. And I always tell people to be spiritually jealous, because if you want to be spiritually jealous, and I tell them go ahead and do that, what happens is they'll never find joy and peace in their life, And when I tell them that, they realize that they're no longer in control. They're a slave to their jealousy. But I also tell them to be spiritually selfish. And spiritually selfish means, the key word is spiritually, is doing things that bring joy and happiness. And therefore, if a friend of yours calls you on, let's say, Saturday night, 11 o'clock, oh, gosh, I need your help in moving. I have no one to help me. You got to be there. You got to be there. And let's say Sunday you were going to go to a baseball game or a picnic or be with some friends or hiking in the woods, whatever gave you joy. So they're laying a guilt trip on you. And being spiritually selfish says, gee, I'd like to help you, but I had other plans, and therefore, I'm sorry I can't help you, and you're letting me know at the last minute. Had you asked me a few days ago or 24 hours or a week ago, I could have made plans. And so you feel guilty and you walk away, oh, maybe I should help this person or whatever, and become a slave to the guiltiness. However, you're being used by that person because they could have called you, but they chose not to for whatever reason. Maybe it was good, maybe it wasn't. But again, being spiritually selfish is doing right action. So if you truly love this person and you had nothing going on and you wanted to help them, by all means, help them. You should. On the other hand, if you've got other plans that are really important and you wanted to do it for quite a while, then that person is using you and taking advantage of you and really does not respect you or your time. They don't honor you. You're nothing but a body to move boxes or whatever they wanted to do. Now, there are times I may be planning to do something, and a friend will call me up, hey, come on over for dinner, let's have a good time. Let's do this or that. And, I may be planning, I go, you know what? That sounds like a lot more fun than I was going to do. So I will do that. Even though I was planning to take a hike, maybe I enjoy their company or wanted to be with them. The dinner didn't seduce me, it's their company. So I want each one of you to think about your lives. And as you think about your lives, what owns and controls you? See, whatever owns and controls you, you're a slave to. It's your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, your anxiety, perhaps hate. Perhaps you forgot to forgive yourself or don't want to forgive yourself or forgive someone else. Whatever it is, whatever owns you, whatever controls you, whatever manipulates you, then what happens is you're a slave to it. Whatever you believe in will become very successful. Like Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times to invent the electric light bulb, but he believed that he would, and he did. And Henry Ford believed he could build a car from scratch inexpensively, and he went bankrupt several times, but he succeeded. So we have to look at our life and say, what are our challenges? And the truth is there are no failures in our life, so never be a slave to a failure. Because truly, what doesn't work, you learn something. Unfortunately, most people learn by negativity, in terms of negativity by failure. That's what I mean by negativity, as opposed to by success. Many moons ago, I was in marketing and sales. And the sales I was creating was in the millions. And I used to say, don't tell me what I'm doing right because I already know what I'm doing right. Tell me what I'm doing wrong so I can learn from it. And that was part of everything that I was doing to create the life that I have now. And some of you may know that I went through a divorce, and I initiated it. And it was not very comfortable. It was really hard on me. I'm sure it was hard on my family as well. Don't misunderstand me. But I realized that I would not be talking to you today. I would not be doing the things I'm doing today unless I had gone through that divorce. Now, my ex-wife gave me beautiful children who are highly successful, and I'm very proud of them. And at the same time, I have no anger and animosity towards my ex-wife. Not at all. Absolutely none. In fact, when I do healings, massive healings, I send healing to her. Because I'm not going to be a slave to my guilt. and I no longer can be controlled and manipulated. And then when I say that is, somebody else criticize me or say something, and I'll examine it and ask for true inner source guidance. And maybe they're really right. And I will either acknowledge it to them or silently if I can't get a hold of them. On the other hand, I will see what is occurring and how they're trying to control and manipulate my life. And so I will not rub salt into the wound with them or bring it up. I send them healing and move on. Because you see, anything that brings about anger or adversity or negative change, we own it, we're a slave to it, we're stuck in the mire of that negativity, of that fear, and the doubt. So what I want you all to know is that in this coming week, because the energy is now coming in to each one of you, believe it or not, because that's the way I work, I am honored to work with a true source. And when there's a message coming in, it's completely channeled, if you will, from the true source to affect all of you in a very positive way. So in the next week, by the time we talk again this evening, next week, you're going to have a great glimpse and even probably meditations or thoughts or dreams about what owns you, what controls you, what manipulates you, or as I say, what are you slave to? Each one of us are here to experience life. And we can choose to say that experience is positive or negative. But if we understand about experiencing life, the major thing is to work out our karma, whatever that may be, but also to have love and joy in our life. Unfortunately, most human beings learn through negativity that I mentioned before, and we become slaves to that negativity. And isn't that a shame? We let this negativity that we're supposed to grow and learn from own us and manipulate us. So in this coming week, each one of you are going to realize what you are a slave to. And here's my suggestion. Experience it. Say, I experience it, I understand it, I call upon the true source to heal me and release me from it. And that's all you need to do. In my experiences in working with the true source, you don't have to ask 10,000 times. Once is all is needed. I mean, if I went to you and said to you, would you make me dinner? 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 You say, all right, Michael, I heard you. You only have to tell me once. But some people or some situations or even ourselves, through doubt, we repeat it and 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 regurgitate it and repeat it. And the reason we do that is because of doubt. So when you ask the true source to clear you of it or heal you of it or release you of it, whatever words, and you'll say the right words, you only need to do it once. But if you don't believe it and you doubt it, by all means, do it multiple times. So tomorrow is the 4th of July, and you chose in this incarnation to be born in America. Isn't that great? It's better than being born in China or some other, or Africa, or poverty, or whatever it is. Look how blessed we are, and look how many people don't realize how lucky and blessed we are to be in this planet. And not only this planet, but in being to the United States of America. Yet as I look around, there's so much hate and anger towards politics, towards people, towards relationships, towards businesses, whatever it may be, that I see so many souls become slaves to all this anger and animosity. And what it is negativity trying to distract us from reconnecting to the true source. So I pass on this thought, and the thought is, remember, you're always an aspect of the true source. You're always unconditionally loved. And when you mess up, all you have to ask of the true source for forgiveness, and it's done. Don't repeat it again. Try to learn from it. And I eliminate the word try. Do learn from it. So everyone, I want to wish you all a happy July 4th. And remember to look in the mirror each evening and say, I am unlimited. I am unlimited. I am unlimited.